And all that I got is right in front of me. So them county lines and highway signs mark the place where I went wrong.
Hey everyone, Mix with Jerry here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to instantly remove reverb from your vocal recordings. Now, before we begin, please make sure to hit that subscribe button on the Waves Audio YouTube channel. They've been creating an awesome community here on YouTube, and you don't want to miss any of the new exciting content that's coming out. Now, one thing about recording vocals is that creativity can come at any time, and sometimes you're not always in a room that is well acoustically treated. And when you record in these rooms that don't have acoustic treatment, there's going to be reflections from your voice bouncing off the walls and the ceilings, and your microphone is likely going to capture some of this natural reverb in your recordings. And that's not what you want. We already have amazing reverb plugins to dial in the perfect amount of reverb that we want during the mixing process. The goal during recording is to capture a dry vocal, but this is almost impossible without a vocal booth or a properly treated room. So Waves not only came out with a great plugin to solve this issue for us, but they made it so easy to dial in that even a beginner can get a great sounding vocal within seconds. So this is DeReverb, and as you can see, it's very simple and easy to use, but the capabilities of this thing are amazing. Now I have a vocal recording here of me where I was just talking in a very small untreated room, and I wanted to purposely capture some of that heavy reverb coming from the room so that we could test this plugin out. Let's go ahead and take a listen, and I'll dial this in. Today we are testing out the DeReverb plugin by Waves Audio. We are trying to figure out how clean it can make our vocals sound, even when recording in a space that has no acoustic panels or treatment to stop the sound from reflecting off the walls and in the corners. Today, we are testing out the DeReverb plugin by Waves Audio. We are trying to figure out how clean it can make our vocals sound, even when recording in a space that has no acoustic panels or treatment to stop the sound from reflecting off the walls and in the corners. Okay, so you can really hear the difference. The vocal just becomes much more focused and more professional sounding whenever you remove all of the unnecessary room reflections. And the best part of it is that the original fidelity of the vocal is kept intact. And that's really big with plugins like this because you don't want to solve one problem by creating another problem. You want to remove the reverb without degrading the vocal itself, which can be hard to do, but as we just heard, I think that Waves really has something special going on with this plugin. Now you do have a couple of different settings over here on the left side of the plugin that can help you dial in your sound. You have two networks to choose from, which are essentially algorithms that detect your voice and separate it from the reverb. So you have one for singing, and then there's also one for dialogue. Now this presence control right here, when left at the default setting, is going to maintain the original character of the voice. But if you go higher with the presence control, it's going to make the vocal sound more bright. And then of course going lower with the control is going to make it sound a little bit more dark. So next up, let's go ahead and see how this thing sounds on the vocal here in this acoustic song. So again, just like the last example, I recorded it in a very small untreated room.
Winding road, the moon illuminates as I'm switching lanes. I'm going back and forth. I'm ready for change. I'm ready to face my fate, but I can't seem to be who I wanna be, no. And all that I got is right in front of me. So them county lines and highway signs mark the place where I went wrong. So I put it in drive as my taillight shine towards the place that I called home.
Okay, so the plugin just has such a good algorithm to separate the vocal from the reverb and then completely do away with the reverb, leaving you with a very clean and clear vocal. Now, I do want to talk about why it's so crucial to remove the reverb from your recordings. When you start to add things like EQ and especially compression, it's going to make that reverb in the background stand out even more because you're ultimately bringing up that low-level information whenever you compress and add makeup gain. So let me go ahead and show you an example. Let's just turn the DeReverb plugin off, and then we'll add some compression here with the CLA 76.
Winding road, the moon illuminates as I'm switching lanes. I'm going back and forth. I'm ready for change. I'm ready to face my fate, but I can't seem to be who I wanna be, no.
So you can hear how the reverb that's in the recording is becoming even more apparent and noticeable because the compression is bringing up that low-level information. It's so important to take care of this issue early on in the vocal chain before adding any other processing. So let's go ahead and take another listen to this vocal with the compression added, but this time I'll turn the DeReverb plugin on and off so you can hear the difference that it can make.
Winding road, the moon illuminates as I'm switching lanes. I'm going back and forth. I'm ready for change. I'm ready to face my fate, but I can't seem to be who I wanna be, no.
Alright, so a much better and cleaner vocal with the DeReverb plugin turned on before the compression. Now, just for fun, let's go ahead and load StudioVerse after the DeReverb plugin and find a vocal chain that will take this vocal to the next level.
Winding road, the moon illuminates as I'm switching lanes. I'm going back and forth. I'm ready for change. I'm ready to face my fate, but I can't seem to be who I wanna be, no. And all that I got is right in front of me, so.
Alright, so what a difference some of these presets can make, right? And you notice how clean the reverb sounds now that it's dialed in with a reverb plugin instead of that muddy reverb that was coming from the room. Whenever you have a clean vocal recording, you just get way more control over how you craft the sound. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please subscribe to the Waves Audio YouTube channel and let them know that you're rocking with all the new content.
But all that I got is right in front of me, so them county lines and highway signs mark the place where I went wrong. So I put it in drive as my taillight shine towards the place that I called home.